can't hear. As you can hear me loud. Let's confirm. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening once more. Can anyone hear me right now, please? Let's confirm that we can hear me. Can anyone hear me on the call now? Elijah Latif, can anyone hear me? Okay, yes, I can. Thank you so much, Dorcas, for responding to that. So I'm going to bring up my screen and then we are going to start off this discussion immediately. Okay, I'm going to bring up my screen and welcome once more to the conversation that we have for tonight. It's going to be a very interesting one where we're going to be looking at the World Economic Forum reports, okay, for 2025. So before sessions that we've had today, we're looking at the World Economic Forum report for 2024. But right now, the one for 2025 is out, and we're going to be having a look at it. And then we are going to see how the world has reacted with respect to the economy. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my screen, and then we are going to start off immediately. Okay, I'm going to bring up my screen, and we're going to start off immediately. But while we're waiting for that, I'd love to know you and know where you are joining us from. Okay, I want to know you and where you are joining us from. So please feel free to type in your name and the location of where you are joining us from in the comment section so that we can start off this conversation immediately. Okay, so just put in your name and where you're joining us from, and then we can start up the conversation immediately also. Okay, fantastic. I can see a couple of comments are already dropping. We'll have Tayo from UK, Yemi from London, Olaoluwa from Canada, Kwame from Canada, Kabirat from Lagos, Hassan from Toronto, Dozier from Canada, Nene from UK, Winifred, Canada. I think we'll have more of Canadian people here today. What's happening in Canada today? Hope Canada is fine. This is what everyone is on the call right now. We'll have Fortune from Nigeria. We'll have Ruth from Lagos, Nigeria. Oluwa Olola from Canada, Dami from Manchester, Fatima from USA. Amazing. We'll have a lot of people on the call. We'll have Kizito from Malaysia, fantastic. Dorcas from Port Harcourt, Dayo from UK, and others, and every other person on the call. So the beauty of sessions like this is this, right? You can easily see that we have people cut across different countries. We'll have people from Malaysia, we'll have people from Nigeria, we'll have people from Canada, UK, US. Okay, so which means we'll have more than 5 countries fully represented here. Okay, so and this should tell you one of the benefits of the tech industry, the beauty of remote work. You can be anywhere and work for any company across the globe. Hello, Elijah. Hi, Latif. Please make my second device a co-host so I can be able to share my screen and we can start off the discussion. All right, Latif, please make my second device a co-host. All right, and while we're waiting for that, if today is the first time that you are joining any of our sessions, please feel free to type in a 1. But if you've been in our sessions before now, you can type in any number as it leads you. Kwame has typed in a 4 already. Kwame, I think I've seen you in my session for 3 consecutive times now. Okay, I've seen you in my session for 3 consecutive times. We'll start charging you. We'll start charging you very, very soon. Okay, because I think you are benefiting a lot, which is why you always come to this session. Okay, but Kwame, how are you doing today? Do you mind typing in the comment section how the session has been so far for you? So that I'll be sure that you're benefiting from what we've been discussing all this while. Okay, Kwame, are you there? Just type it in the comment section. While I'm waiting for Kwame to respond to me, I also want to hear from you. Is there anything in particular you want to take out from this session? Please feel free to put it in the comment section. Okay, I'm going to be looking through and be scanning to know if there is something that you want to learn ideally. What is it that you want to take out from this session? Okay, I can go through the comment section. I can see a lot of one, which means there are a lot of people that today is their first time of being here. Aside Kwame and Winifred, who is typed in a 2, which means this is the second time, and also Trudy, it's good to have you guys on the call as well. For all the new people that are here, please make sure that you fill the attendance form that my colleagues will be dropping in the comment section also. So the attendance form, that's what we are going to be using to send the slide for this conversation to you, and also share the recorded version of this call with you. So if at any point you had a reason to drop off, or maybe your network glitched or anything happened, you will have access to the recorded version of the conversation and also have access to the slide that we're using for this meeting. Okay, make sure that you fill the attendance. Okay, Dozie mentioned data analytics course and program details. Definitely, we are going to talk about data analysis and everything that it entails. Yemi mentioned, I'm in London. How do I get remote work in Canada or USA? Fantastic, Yemi. I'm going to make sure that we scratch that. And of course, Hassan mentioned upskilling, which is also very, very crucial. How to prepare for a product management interview. Amazing Tech Zilla, how to prepare for a product management interview. All right, these are part of things that we offer in our program to prepare you for interviews that you are going to go for. How do I land a job in Canada? Definitely, it will be scratched. All right, I think that's everything in the comments. So we're about to start now, and I have roughly over 100 people on the call. Okay, so if you know anyone that will benefit from this conversation, or your friends, your family member, even your enemy that you know that will benefit from this conversation, please feel free to share the link to this meeting with them so that they can join and hear what we have to say. And the topic for tonight is simple: guaranteed pathway to landing a job in the UK, US, Canada in 2025. Strategies from the Future of Jobs report. Okay, strategies from the Future of Jobs report. So every year, there's a meeting that we call the World Economic Forum, where the world leaders come together to discuss certain topics. All right, part of those topics that they discuss is also the future of job. So we're going to be looking at that future of jobs to know what the future of job is in all these regions for 2025, so that we can be able to have a guaranteed pathway to landing a job, whether you're in UK, US, Canada, Africa, Malaysia, anywhere you are joining from. This is also relevant to you. So we're going to jump right into the discussion. But first, who are we? Okay, who are we? So we are Analytics, the leading educational technology company that's coming from Africa and helping people of the Black community to break into the tech industry. And for last over 4 years, we've helped close to 3,000 people move from our classroom into landing their first jobs in UK, US, Canada, Europe, and of course, Africa and Asia. And how do we do this? It's simple, right? We teach using project-based model for you to have an experience of what you need to learn before you land a job. So it's not a classroom where you come in and you're learning, oh, A is for apple, B is for ball. No, you're going to be hands-on and learn practical rudiments of any of the tech career paths they are looking to get into, all right? And we are committed to making the technology sector more accessible through these premium courses that we offer: data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, agile project manager as the scrum master, cybersecurity, and also soon to come AI engineering. Okay, and we have amazing team of instructors that come from top companies like KPMG, Amazon, to teach our students using this experience-based model that I have mentioned. So they come with their wealth of experience to the classroom to teach you using what they've learned on the job and not what you'll be learning in the normal university degree. Okay, so this is who we are, and this is how we help people to move from our classroom into landing their first roles in all the continents that we've played so far in. Okay, and also on my slide, you can see Adeza Suleiman. So he's supposed to take this session today, but due to some certain reasons, he is not here, all right? And he's a technology expert with close to a decade experience in data analytics and management consulting. He's the founder of Analytics and also the co-founder of Amdari. And personally, he helped over 2,850 people with no technical background to move into the first jobs in the tech environment. And his experience spans across data science consulting in UK and US, data analyst, business performance, Sahara Group Limited, and also a data analytics consultant with FITC. He worked in sports, he worked in financial service sector, he worked in edtech and also energy and automobile. Currently, he resides in Alberta, Canada. You can follow him across socials so that I can also be able to communicate with him effectively. And who am I that is speaking to you right now? My name is Chukwuemeka Ekpa, and I'm also a technology business consultant with nearly a decade of experience in governance, risk, and compliance, and also strategic consulting. And currently, I am the CEO of Tenalytics. We have guided over 1,900 students without any technical career path to landing their first roles in the tech ecosystem. My own experience spans across GRC in the banking sector, head of control in the fintech industry, data analyst also in the fintech industry, and of course, a business consultant in the hospitality sector. I've worked in the financial service sector, I've worked in the capital market, I've worked in hospitality, and right now I'm in the educational technology sector. So also feel free to follow me across my own socials on LinkedIn at Chukwuemeka Ekpa, on Twitter at Emeka_Heist, not Heist, like HYEST, and of course on Instagram as Ekpa_Chooks. And we're going to also have a more personalized conversation from there. All right, so quickly, we're going to dive into why we are here today. Okay, so first thing first, we're going to look at the in-demand career paths from the World Economic Forum reports, Future of Jobs for 2025. So we'll have a deep dive to look at the World Economic Forum, the Future of Jobs report, to understand where the demand is. Okay, and then we'll also look at the strategies to land a job in 2025. We also have a look at the success stories, people that have been able to do this before now. What did they do? Okay, what do I need to learn from them that I need to also implement in 2025 for me to also be able to land my own role? And of course, you're going to look at how to get started immediately. The upcoming cohorts in February and March for you to be able to land that tech skill that you are looking for. Then lastly, you're also going to have a special discount for you by virtue of you being on this call tonight. Okay, so but before I get started, I have one important question for everyone. Okay, I have one important question for everyone. Guys, this tweet that the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, made 3 days ago, do we know what that tweet is all about? Is there anyone on this call that saw the tweet from Elon Musk with respect to hiring? Elon Musk is hiring, right? Do we know what he said with respect to that? Kev said yes. Kev, Jonathan, please, Jonathan, feel free. Oluwatobi said that she saw it as well. Please feel free to also type it in the comment section, and then we are going to also look at it critically. Or you can use the raise hand icon, and I'll ask you to unmute to speak to me, and then we'll discuss it from there. So if you raise hand icon, it's going to bring you to the top, and I'll ask you to unmute rather. Okay, or you can drop it in the comment section. Anyone that works. Okay, I think people are already dropping skills in respect of your background, experience or educational qualification not required. Show your work. Winifred, say the truth. You've been in my class before, Winifred. Say the truth, you've been in my class before now. All right, so the richest man in the world, he made a tweet 2 days ago. All right, and what he said is that they're looking to hire people into their own company. You should send your portfolio to a certain email address. And he said something that actually caught my attention. He said, we do not care the school you attended. We do not care the name of the big company you've worked in. We do not even care if you attended school at all. Show your code. All right? This was what he tweeted. He wants to hire, he said, we don't care the school you attended. We don't care the big company you've worked in. We don't care even if you went to school at all. What we are after is show your code. And this is the direction that all companies are tilting towards in 2025. Okay? This is the direction that all companies are tilting towards in 2025. And that is experiential hiring. Companies are looking to bring people on board that is going to make changes to their system using experience and not mere certificates. Okay, so if you are still having that mindset of certificates, you need to go back and look at what Elon Musk tweeted. And from there, you can be able to tell yourself how you've been approaching this job market. Okay, but first, let's have a look at what happened last year in so many countries, and of course here at Analytics. So in United States alone, the hiring in tech ecosystem grew by 5.8%. Okay, so in US alone, the hiring in the tech industry grew by 5.8%. And also in UK, there was a 3.4 increase over the previous year. Okay, there was a 3.4 increase over the previous year. So it is important for you to know that the company or the sector of the economy that has been experiencing growth with respect to hiring rests fully in the tech and IT sector. Okay, so US, there was a growth. UK, there was also growth with respect to their own hiring. Okay, so even in Canada, all right, so in Canada, they experienced a decline in employment numbers compared to 2023. So when you look at the employment rate in 2024 and the employment rate in 2023, there was a decline in Canada. But even with this decline, the tech employment in Canada grew by 4.6%. So this should tell you that there's a decline that's coming from different sectors of the economy, but the tech industry is the one that's even pushing it to come up a little bit. So in Canada, the hirings for 2023, it was higher for the one for 2024. But yet, there was an increase in 2024 with respect to the tech growth. So all these things is to show you where recruiters are tilting towards, okay? And it's fully the tech ecosystem, okay? It's fully the tech ecosystem. And here in Analytics, for last year, we had around 355 people that got jobs in the tech ecosystem across different regions from US to Africa, okay? And that was a 2.5 increase from what we did in 2023, okay? So from 2020 to date, that we have been operational, we've helped 2,850 people move from our classroom into landing a job. And this is not just numbers. I always tell people, feel free to go to LinkedIn and search Analytics. Then go under the segment of people and then try to reach out to everyone that has Analytics embedded in their profile. Because these are facts, these are people, these are actual people that have moved from our own classroom into the job market. So if you're in US, if you're in UK, if you're in Canada, and if you are anywhere across the world. So whenever I speak on some certain topics regarding US, UK, Canada, I should know that they are being used as a figurehead for every other country. All right, they are being used as a figurehead for every other country, because what US is doing is actually to a certain extent what most countries are looking to also implement. So if you're in Nigeria, if you're in Malaysia, if you're in UAE, if you're in Australia, France, Germany, as the case may be, all these growths also affected your own region. So don't feel they are being left out because we're just discussing US, UK, and Canada. It is applicable to all regions across the globe. All right, so let's move on. Let me also walk you through a couple of what we are seeing already in 2025. All right, remember I said in 2024, we helped over 350 people move from our classroom into landing their role. This is 2025, and we're roughly 18 days in, and the jobs are already rolling in, right? So you can, read with me. This is something that came from a participant. I'm overwhelmed, but with good news. I have 3 job interviews, okay? You can see someone came back and said, I'm overwhelmed, but with good news, I have 3 job interviews. Most importantly, I have an interview with so company for HR data analyst role, one of the jobs that you posted. So part of the things that we also do is not just to teach, right? We'll walk you through the technical skills, walk you through the employability skills, and also scrape job boards to provide you with available jobs out there for you to be able to apply to them. All right, you can look at the down part where she now said, I got the job. Okay, and this is what makes us happy here at Analytics. This is what makes us happy. Right, so let's look at it easily. You can see I'm overwhelmed, but with good news. I have 3 job interviews, and then lastly, she got the job. Okay, so your own story can be part of this story in 2025. You can see for reference. Okay, another participant asking for reference, and this means this individual got a job and the company has reached out to us to provide reference letter for Sheyi. So part of the things that we also do is, because you are learning using project-based model, we're also available to provide you with references at any point that you need them. And then also you can see another request for a reference letter for Osamu Dieme from UK. All right. And this one is saying, we hope this email finds you well. We have been provided with your details by so and so person who has been offered the role of people partner pending satisfactory references. We would therefore be very grateful if you could please provide a reference for this candidate by clicking on the link below. So you can see clearly how we also help people to move from our own classroom into landing their roles. So one of the greatest myths that is out there is the thought that for me to land a role in UK, I need a UK experience. For me to land a role in Canada, I need a Canadian experience. For me to land a role in US, I need a US experience. For me to land a role in Brazil, I need a Brazilian experience. For me to land a role in Germany, I guess not seeing how it sounds. All right. But in the tech industry, it is a global community. All right. The Excel you use in Japan is the same Excel you're going to use in USA. The Excel you use in Saudi Arabia is the same Excel you're going to use in Canada. The Excel you use in Australia is the same Excel you're going to use in France. The only difference is just in the language of installation, which means if you have that global skill, you can comfortably be able to work everywhere. If you've used Excel in Germany, it doesn't mean that you can't use Excel in Canada. If you've used Power BI in Australia, it doesn't mean you can't use Power BI in UK, and so on and so forth. And that is how we always try to make people understand. They don't need your location-based experience. What they need is an experience, right? So I'm not saying that experience is not needed, okay? So hear me clearly. Nobody needs you to have a UK-based experience, US-based experience, Canadian-based experience for you to land a role. What you need is an experience, okay? And I want us to know this. You need an experience. So if you are looking to break into the data analytics industry, you need an experience. And this experience, they have to back up with something. It's not just mere fact of, oh, I'm a data analyst. I used to work with, how will I put it? Let me say, I used to work with one bank in Nigeria. All right. So anybody can come up and say that. For you to be able to show full value and full evidence that you used to be a data analyst with a company in Nigeria, there has to be a portfolio showing different work, different projects that you've worked with. So just saying, oh, I'm a data analyst, I used to work with a fintech back in Nigeria, now I'm in UK and I'm struggling to land a role. I hear this most of the time. And when you ask them, show me the evidence, that is where the issue always come up. There is no project to back it up. And listen to me clearly. This is where the challenge comes up, right? So if you are working with any company right now, the possibility of you having their project in your portfolio is slim, right? The possibility of you having, for instance, you used to work with a fintech and you've been able to work with a development team to build a mobile app, you might not have this in your portfolio with respect to the project because there are some certain details there that are protected, all right? And you will not even have access to the entire project. So how do you show evidence of the skill that you have? That is where project-based learning come in, okay? So for you to be able to show evidence, you need to have portfolio of projects that you've been able to undergo in the past. And this is one place that we all miss it out. Because most of the time you hear, oh, I'm struggling to land a role, but I used to have this skill, I used to have this job in Nigeria, I used to have this job in Ghana, I used to have this job in South Africa. Where is the evidence? Nobody believes anything we are saying anymore. So there has to be a portfolio to back it up. So let me just ask us a question. If you're CAS 4 right now, and someone is telling you, oh, I'm a graduate from Harvard University Mechanical Engineering, please bring your car, let me repair for you. And another person is saying, oh, I'm a mechanic. This is my mechanic workshop. see, I've repaired this Benz, I've repaired this Aston Martin, I've repaired this Toyota. Whom are you going to give your car to repair for you? Let me even hear to know whether we are following this discussion. Whom are you going to give your car to? Okay, I can see Tech Zilla mentioned the mechanic. Uluwatobi said guy with the evidence. Fantastic. It's only two people that I have on this call tonight. I want to see and also hear what others are thinking. Whom are you going to give your car to? The one with the evidence, fantastic. Mechanic, that's from Demo Rain. Dozier also mentioned mechanic. And everyone is saying the one that has a workshop, the one with proof of work, mechanic, the experienced guy. Fantastic. Now, why are we pursuing certificates? Okay, so this question is for you. You don't have to answer it. Why are you pursuing certificates? Call. Fred said, Nasir, the mechanic. Fred, my heart no deal. But really, why are we pursuing certificates? We already know what works. But because of our own thoughts around, okay, this is what people are actually looking for, we pursue a different path. I can tell you for a fact, there is no accreditation, there is no, the way we have under accounting, you have ACCA, you have CMI. For data analysis, for an example, what's the institution that gives accreditation? I'm sure nobody is going to say. So what you see out there is just IBM offering a training in data analytics and giving a certificate to you after training. Google offering a training in data analytics and giving you a certificate after training. Amazon doing the same. Analytics doing the same. Different companies doing the same. I've heard is saying DBSCA. I'm sure nobody knows DBSCA. All right. So what people are looking for when it comes to the tech industry is 100% what can you do? And the evidence, we've seen it from what Elon Musk also posted. I wish I can get that slide so I can be able to show us what he actually mentioned. Let me see if I can get the slide quickly and also be able to show us what Elon Musk mentioned with respect to the tweets. Okay, because it's very important that we speak from a place of having to understand. Okay, I think I have it here. So we can still see my screen, right? So this is what he actually tweeted. This is what he actually tweeted. If you are a hardcore, all right, if you are a hardcore software engineer and want to build the everything app, please join us by sending your best work to code@x.com. We don't care where you went to school or even whether you went to school or what big name company you worked as. Just show us your code. So this is to also show you how the entire ecosystem has moved beyond certificates. Okay, so if the richest man is saying, I don't care if you have a certificate, just show me what you can do. What do you think ordinary Chukwemeka like me is going to do? Definitely, you are going to get to that exact part. Just show us what you can do. Show workings, really. Just show workings. So where do you start from? You want to be able to show workings. You want to be able to show the expertise that you can give a company. Where do you start from? Because one mistake that we also make is moving into a career path that is not going to be relevant. Okay? Moving into a career path that is not going to be relevant. It's important that before you select any career path, you need to understand entirely what that career path entails fully. So first, what are the tech skills to learn for you to get a job quickly? Right? So what we have done is for the entire of last year, we've analyzed so many job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, Total Jobs, CV Monster, Google Jobs in UK, US, and Canada. And we brought out all the jobs that they posted. Okay, all the jobs that they posted for the last year, we've analyzed them and brought the one that had the highest number and then passed it through a data analytics metrics. 3 data analytics metrics. Number one, which one gives you that ease of learning? That's, oh, you are someone that studied English, or you don't want something that you're going to spend close to 1 year learning. Which of those career paths will give you that ease of learning? Okay, that's one metric for our analysis. Number 2 metrics is which one gives you the ease of transitioning. All right, you used to be a teacher and you're trying to break into the tech industry. Which career paths have that relatability with teaching? For instance, a teacher has done stakeholder analysis without even knowing, because by virtue of teaching, you've interacted with the students, which is a stakeholder. You've interacted with the parents, which is a stakeholder, with the management, with the PTA. These people are all stakeholders, and by virtue of this interaction, you are doing stakeholder analysis, and these things that business analysts do. Okay, and also communication, you'll be able to pass information from top management down to the students, from parents down to the students, and these are all tasks that a business analyst carry out. So when you decide, oh, I want to transition from teaching, you now look at it, okay, which one gives me that ease of transitioning from teaching into a tech career path? Because this is where most of us make the mistake. Oh, I used to be a teacher, but right now I'm hearing that cybersecurity is next big thing. You know, let me jump and enter inside cybersecurity without one having any skill set that relates to cybersecurity. Two, we are thinking, oh, my friend moved into cybersecurity. They said that's where the money is. This is what has led a lot of people into making the wrong decision. This is where the money is. All right. So what I always tell everyone is this: the money is everywhere. You can see number three. Number three metrics is high and rewarding salary. And what this means is that they all need to have this high and rewarding salary. And after all this analysis that I've carried out, we're able to come up with these 8 career paths. Number 1, we have the business analysis. Number 2, we have the agile project management scrum master. Number 3, we have the data analytics. We have the data science, data engineer, cybersecurity, financial analytics, and also HR analytics. And it doesn't end here. After we've done all this analysis, we needed to validate if these courses are going to be relevant in the next coming years. But before I go ahead to show us the relevance through the World Economic Forum report, I want us to put the career paths that we've already selected that we want to move into in the comment section. Okay, so if you've already selected a career path, feel free to put it in the comment section so that we know people that have selected a career path already and people that want us to also be able to help them with respect to making a decision. Mr. Best said 1, that should be business analysis. Olaoluwa, business data. Daniel, data analytics. Kurochi, software engineering. Emmanuel, business analysis. Amazing. I can see that most of us are going for business analysis. Fantastic. Fantastic. I have data analytics. I have Scrum Master. I've not seen cybersecurity. I've not seen data engineering. Fantastic. But I'm glad that I've already made that first step of having a career path in mind. Okay. But also work with me. Let me now walk us through the World Economic Forum report for you to know whether the career path you are selecting is a job that is going to grow, or whether it's a job that in the next 5 years is going to decline. Because this is one thing that most people find challenging. You move into a career path today, tomorrow it becomes irrelevant. Okay, so like I mentioned, we pass them through external validation to know where their future lies. So you can see my screen now. This is the World Economic Forum report for 2025. And like I said earlier, this World Economic Forum is a forum where the world leaders come together every year to look at what has been happening. All right. And right there, they're able to determine, okay, this is what is going to happen in the next coming years because of this, or this is what's not going to happen. So clearly you will see what they identified here. All right. A lot of jobs will be created and a lot of jobs will be lost. Okay. So a lot of jobs will be created in the next coming years and a lot will also be lost. So if you look at my screen, you see the jobs that are going to be destroyed. So you see the jobs that are going to be destroyed. Clearly, the ones from here to here are going to be destroyed. So you can clearly see jobs that are going to be destroyed. And then you will see the jobs that are going to grow. Okay, you see the jobs that also will grow in the next coming years. That's the green part of this, the 1 million jobs that are going to, that's this one. all right? And then in between the blue lines represents the ones that are stable. So the most important that we need to make sure is that us in the red zone. So in the next 5 years, by 2030, 170 million jobs will be created. So each of these boxes that you see here represents 1 million jobs, right? And according to the World Economic Forum report, 170 million jobs will be created, right? And next one you see, while 92 million jobs will disappear. Okay, so 92 million jobs will disappear. I know if I ask all of us the 92 million jobs, whether our own job is part of it, we are going to shout, God forbid. I'm sure everyone on this call, we are going to shout, God forbid, right? But what are we doing to make sure that we remain within this blue zone, or that we are going to be part of the red zone? What are we doing to make sure that we are within this blue zone and then also towards this green zone? All right. So what are you doing to make sure that you are here? Because if you are on this red side, you are obviously, your job is going to disappear. So after this session also, remember, if you fill the attendance form, you will have access to this slide. And right on this slide, when you click on the link, you can easily be able to go to the World Economic Forum and read the reports yourself and have a better understanding. Okay, so make sure you fill the attendance form so that you have access to the slide and also to the recorded version of this discussion. Okay, so moving on. Remember, just write these things down. 170 million jobs will be created, while 92 million jobs will disappear. Now, which jobs are the fastest growing jobs? Which ones are the fastest growing jobs? I've already given a expo. So you can clearly see the number one fastest growing job right now is big data specialist. The big data specialist. If you saw the 2024 report, the highest growing job as at then was AI and machine learning. All right, AI and machine learning. And if you look closely, you can still see that same AI and machine learning as number 3. Right? And the idea is simple. Okay, it's simple. All these automations has been done. The machine learning specialists have already built algorithms to be able to think like human. But then there needs to be data engineers that should be able to store and manage the database on which all these things are hosted. So because last year we had AI engineering, AI and machine learning trending and all, this year someone needs to be able to take and store all those data. And that is why the big data specialists are the fastest growing jobs right now. So you can see how it is all moving. AI and machine learning specialists, they were number 1 last year. But for this year, we have data engineers. And it's simple. AI, they've done what they need to do. Data engineers need to now come in and make sure that these things are stored and made available and channeled easily for everyone. Next year, which one do we think is going to also be linked to this? Which one do we think is also going to be linked to this? So the truth is, all of them is going to revolve within the tech ecosystem. They are all going to revolve within the tech ecosystem. So moving on, you can see the first one is big data specialist, and there is also the data warehouse specialist. That's the ones in red, and they represent the data engineer. And that simply means that data engineering has been validated as part of a course that's going to be in demand in the next coming years. You can see the one in orange, you have your AI and machine learning specialists, and the one down, you also see data analysts and scientists, which means they are also part of the fastest growing job. And of course, you also see cybersecurity analysts. Cybersecurity, someone needs to be able to protect the digital data that all these people have been playing around with. And that is why cybersecurity analyst is also part of the jobs that's also going to grow. Now you can clearly see all the jobs, even the ones that we didn't highlight. Let's have a look at them. Okay, you can see the fintech engineers, software application dev, security management specialist. Security management specialist is also a derivative of cybersecurity. Right, so this is also a derivative of cybersecurity. Right, and then Internet of Things that you have here also is also a derivative or has a link to cybersecurity as well. So you can see that even the ones that we left out has relatability with the ones that we're currently doing. Now, these courses that we are not offering, for instance, automation and electric vehicle specialists, you will agree with me that this is not a career path that met ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and of course, high rewarding salary. Of course, it's met high rewarding salary, but is it a career path that you, as a customer service person, you want to become an autonomous and electric vehicle specialist? Is it possible, really? Let's be honest to ourselves. Is it a career path that you can move into within a space of 6 months? That's the actual question. And also the other one that you have there, you have your software developers. Is it a career path that within a space of 6 months that you will also be able to land a job? Because one mistake people make most time is moving to a tech career path that will take them years to be employable. All right? That will take them years to be employable. I'm not saying that will take you years to start earning peanuts, years to actually be employable and make a living out of it. All right? So that is why some of these career paths that you see here that is also going to grow, it is not part of the courses that we offer. So moving on to the next page, we now have the in-demand career paths. Okay, so all the career paths that you see on this left-hand side, these are jobs that will grow. All right, while the ones that you see on this right-hand side, these are jobs that will decline. So if what you are doing is on this right-hand side, please make sure that you move towards this left-hand side amongst the job that is going to grow. Okay, so first job that is going to grow also, like we've seen before, is big data specialist. All right, big data specialist, and it's because someone needs to be able to build the algorithm, build the pipelines, build the architecture to manage all these big data, and that's where the data engineers come in. So you can also see the one in red, data warehouse specialists, and also data engineers, which means data engineering is one career path that you don't need to joke about. All right, I'm going to still explain what each of those career paths means. I'm just trying to walk us through understanding the World Economic Forum report for us to know the career path that we should be able to be looking towards in 2025. Now, the number 3 job there that you can see also is AI and machine learning specialists. And then the one down is data analyst and scientist, which is clearly the data analyst and data scientist. You have your information security analyst, which is your cyber security guys, and you have your process automation specialists, and these are the business analysts. Okay, these are the business analysts. Now let's look at the jobs that we have on the right-hand side. I'm not the person that wrote this report, but clearly you can see what we have under number 1, number 2, number 3 amongst jobs that are going to decline. One is chemists and chemical laboratory scientists. It is the number 1 job that is going to decline. All right. Number 2 is mechanical engineers. How many mechanical engineers do you have on the call? If you're a mechanical engineer, you're currently doing something that relates to mechanical engineering, please feel free to drop a comment so that I also highlights you and talk to you specifically. Right? You also have your architects and surveyors. These are jobs that will decline. I moved into a new house recently, and I was thinking of, okay, how do I design this house? How do I put everything to the place it's supposed to be? So someone called my attention to an app. I instantly downloaded the app. I snapped my sitting room, and it gave me all the ideas that I can possibly use to design that room. All right. And these are things that is making some of these jobs to decline. So for people that are into home decor or into interior design, can easily see that their aspect of architecture is already leaving, because these are things that people can comfortably get from the comfort of their houses. All right. So how do you make sure that you are not part of the people that the jobs are? Please share the app, Angel, Fred. Fred, I'm not here to promote another business. I'm here to talk about tech first, but I'll talk to you about the app later. All right. So clearly, you can see that there are jobs that some certain things are going to replace. Right? There are jobs that some certain things are going to replace, especially technology. So all these career paths that is going to grow, if you look at it clearly, you will notice that they have one thing in common. technology, right? They all have technology in common. Let's even look at these segments that we do not highlight. Okay, let's look at from here to here, right? I know it's not part of the courses that we offer, but if you have a look at these courses here, you can see DevOps engineers, renewable energy engineers, robotics engineers, blockchain developers. And these are career paths that are also going to grow. But what you now ask yourself is this: if you want to move into robotics engineering, is it a career path that you can learn within a space of 6 months? Right? You want to move into blockchain developer, is it a career path that you will move into in the next 6 months? I know a friend that for the last 1 year, in fact, she has been saying that she wants to be a blockchain developer. All right. But it is not a career path that within a space of 3-6 months, you get what you need. It is over years that you can fully be able to land roles in that system and be able to have the comfort to move into it. So make sure that the career path they are trying to get into met these criteria of ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and high rewarding salary. And that's why we've taken the pain points to help you, isolate the ones that met all these. Okay. For people asking for the app, I think Joe have also typed another app there for you guys to also have a look at. After the call, maybe I'll check through my phone and be able to also share it. Okay. So the idea that I've been talking about is make sure they are moving to the left-hand side where the jobs that will grow are located. So the next page, you also see data analysts are still here. Okay. Data analysts are part of jobs that are going to grow. Data engineers also are here. And then you have your agile project managers, which is the project managers. They are here as well. And of course, management and organization analysts. They are part of jobs that will grow. So like I mentioned, make sure that you are on this side of job. Make sure that you are on this side of jobs and that you leave this side of job. Okay, if you are still on the right-hand side, you're amongst the jobs that will decline in the next coming years. Okay, so let's move quickly for want of time. All right, so personally, when you fill the attendance form and you get the slide, please, you can now take your time to look at these jobs specifically to know the one that suits you, okay? When you fill the attendance form, when this session is over, we are going to share the slide that we're using for this masterclass and also the recorded version of it with you. All right, now when we talk about all those 8 career paths, it doesn't mean that as a data analyst, you are only going to be looking for roles as a data analyst. All right, it doesn't mean that you are going to be looking for roles as a data analyst. So as a data analyst, you can work as a business intelligence analyst, you can work as a marketing analyst, you can work as a sales analyst, logistics analyst, and so much more. So data analytics is just like the umbrella that houses it, but inside it, there are several other career paths embedded. Same thing with cybersecurity. As a cybersecurity expert, you can work as a SOC analyst, you can work as a network engineer, you can work as a pen tester, as a security architect, as a GRC person, which is governance, risk, and compliance. You can work in all these different roles. So when you see the main heading of cybersecurity, data analytics, business analysis, it doesn't mean that you should only be looking for roles that are specific to them. In fact, here in analytics, we always walk our students through the derivatives under each career path for you to also know what to look out for. So when you're looking for a role, you're not searching using, oh, I'm looking for a role as a data analyst. You are looking for a role that has the skills that a data analyst will have, which is Excel, Power BI, SQL. So you are searching using those skills because these days, companies are just trying to be funny. Everyone is trying to make their own name to be the most branded one. I think HRs are the ones that started this. Before you will hear human resource, next one you hear capital investors, next one you hear talent managers, you hear a lot of derivatives, branding all and all. So this should mean that if you're looking to move into any career path, make sure you know the different derivatives under it for you to now be able to look for roles in that system. Now, there has and will continue to be a talent shortage, okay? And this is to your advantage. From the World Economic Forum report, we can clearly see that talent hiring availability will also shift by 2025 to 2030. All right, you can clearly see the ones that are in the blue side are the people that have positive talent availability, which clearly only 4 countries or thereabouts, I think from Singapore upwards, from Singapore to this place, these are the guys that met positive hiring. But from South Africa down, we are all under 0 or negative, which means there are less available people to fill the roles that exist in these places. All right. And if you look at those countries that have those less availability, you now start seeing things like South Africa, Hong Kong, China, Mexico, Australia, Canada, Serbia, Vietnam, Zimbabwe, Malaysia. Of course, you can see the popular place that most of us are in, and that is United States. Okay, you can see United States here. You can see United Kingdom. And of course, you can see Canada here. All right. You can see, of course, our beloved country, Nigeria, is also here. So I must definitely highlight our beloved country. So this means that they are all in the negative. There is talent shortage in all these different regions. All right. There are talent shortages there. And if you are looking to be able to break into that place and get all those roles, you need to first of all have the skill. So I think I also need to highlight on this side, you have things like your Germany, because most of us, I think I saw someone from Germany here. You have Germany here also to show you that it is also under skill shortage. All right, there are shortage of skill in this region. Why is it taking time for my Germany to write? All right, you have your Germany. So if you go through it, you see countries that lack the skill, and it is your own advantage. And if you are someone that is also still looking to move, please make sure that you look at some of these reports to make your decisions ideally. For instance, if you're looking to go to Egypt, Morocco, or Saudi Arabia, you should know that they have talent in positive, which means there are enough people there that should be able to fill some of the roles that they are looking to hire for. I have a question, please. I can see that on the other side of the career decline, there is compliance officers, but in cybersecurity can work as GRC, which also involves compliance as well. In IT, for the same framework that would be required. Fantastic question, Bolanle. Fantastic question. Let me give you a clear example. I used to be a compliance officer. All right? I used to be a compliance officer in one of Nigerian banks before I moved into GRC, into one fintech. But the idea is simple. Now, when it comes to compliance, it's fully from the aspect of things that can be, anyone can actually be able to do. If you bring someone that just finished secondary school and say the person, okay, this is what you need to do every morning, check the KYC documents, check that there is utility bill, check that the address tallies, check that this is okay, and then implement what you need to implement. These are what compliance officers used to do. But when it comes to the aspect of GRC, governance, risk, and compliance, we are now looking at it from a technical perspective. As a GRC professional, you need to understand ISO standard, you need to understand NDPA, you need to understand GDPR, okay? And these are all regulations that is also holding some of these companies together. So we have those understanding. You need to now know, under ISO 27001, that the minimum requirements for you to have a password is just 8. But ISO 27002 is now moving it to 15. Okay, so these are things that you now need to be understanding. So for you to now be able to move from being a compliance officer to GRC, you need to now undergo that training to move you from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. So the idea is simple, Bolande. For you, that you're a compliance person, you already see a transferable skill between GRC and cybersecurity. So it simply means that you should easily be able to break into cybersecurity. All right, you should be able to break into it. And thank you so much for that question, Bolande. Because what I always tell people is that look on the right-hand side. If your job is existing there, find the one on the left-hand side that has the transferable skills, that what you've been doing has relatability between most of them, and move into it. And also under GRC, people that work as GRC professionals, they also have understanding of some of these cybersecurity principles. You also need to understand your CIA triad, confidentiality. We'll still get there. Let me not move into cybersecurity now. So we still get into breaking down each of those courses one after the other for us to understand what it entails, Bolanle. But thank you for bringing up that question. So like I've mentioned, make sure you take advantage of where the skill shortages are existing. All right, so you can clearly see where the shortages are in negative for you to be able to move into those areas. And then let's talk about strategy. Okay, let's talk about strategy. I hope people are still hearing me. If you are still under the influence of my voice, please feel free to type in anything in the comment section so that I'll be sure that I've not been speaking to myself for the last 1 hour. Okay, fantastic. I can see a couple of comments dropping because here it's still quiet. And I was already thinking that you guys are slept off or you have gone to shifts and you've left me here to be speaking on my own. All right, so what's the strategy that you need to deploy or that you must deploy for you to break into any of these career paths? Right, the idea is simple. We use a 6-step approach. And this 6-step approach is what we've seen that have worked for the last close to 5 years that we've been doing this, okay? And first is for you to identify your desired career path. And that's why I ask most of us if we've already selected a career path that suits us or a career path that we think we need to also get into, okay? If we've been able to select it, congratulations, you've selected or you have passed the number 1, and that is being able to select or identify your own desired set career path. Then number 2 is for you to learn the skills. A friend of mine reached out to me last week. We went to the same secondary school. By the way, I studied civil engineering. And right now, we're in the tech industry making waves. And this should tell you that it is possible. So he reached out to me and said, oh, Chief, sort of in between jobs, can you help us? And I asked, okay, what skills, blah, blah, blah. He was telling me, okay, civil engineering, AutoCAD. I said, clearly, I've moved away from this sector that you're talking about. And I said, okay, which one? I said, okay, we have data science that you have to understand SQL, Power BI, understand Excel, and also Tableau. And he said, okay, no issues, I can do it. And I said, okay, but do you have the skill? He said, no, but you can do it. Now, that's where the issue lies. Most time, we have this desire that we want to get into this career path, but we've not been able to answer this number 2 question, which is learn the skill. Okay, so the step is simple. First one is identify your desired tech career path. Number 2 is for you to learn the skill. And why learning? People also make mistake while they are learning. All right, there are a lot of people that will tell you, oh, I'm learning through what's it called? All these different available platforms out there. Now the challenge with learning available jobs are learning platforms out there is this: you will not have the number 3 option, which is project-based experience. All right, and what recruiters are looking for is people that have the skill and they also have the project experience to back it up. All right, so they're not looking for someone that, oh, you've gone to Udemy, you've learned Excel, but how do we implement it in the workplace? Right, so what we do is our classes are all live instructor-led. And those live instructor-led have someone walking you through various projects that you need to be able to understand. All right, you have someone walking you through various projects that you need to be able to understand. Please confirm that you can still hear me, because I can see myself in the second screen and it's standing still. Can anyone hear me, please? Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Tech. All right. I can see myself in the second screen and it's standing still. That's why I felt maybe I've disconnected. All right. So first one is learn the skill. Identify your desired career path, then learn the skill and make sure you are learning it using project-based experience. Okay, when you don't learn using project-based experience, that is where the issue lies. So let me see if I can easily click on any of this portfolio to show us what it feels like to have a portfolio. For instance, when you get this slide and you click here, it will take you to the portfolio of these students, all right? It should take you to the portfolio of these students. So right here, you see that why this individual was learning, she worked on several case studies, several projects to be able to show as evidence of what she'd been able to do. So Victoria, she worked on deep care hospital ER visit analysis, project 1. She worked on Redox airline flight analysis, project 2. She worked on Express Tech food delivery, 3. She worked on Nestle product, 4. Zenith Electronics, 5. So she touched base with 5 different projects. And let's look at the sectors of the economy. Zenith Electronics is a technology company. Nestle products is FMCG. Airline is aviation sector. Express Tech food delivery is supply chain industry. And of course, deep care hospital is health sector. So you can see that this person has touched base with 5 different sectors of the economy. And there is you are coming from, I've learned Excel using Udemy, or I've learned Excel using Coursera, or I've learned Excel using this. What projects have you worked on to show us evidence? So when you click on any of these, you can clearly, when you click here, you see what this person did with respect to this project. There are stories aligned to it. There are projects aligned to it that he or she can comfortably speak from a place of experience. She can comfortably say, while I was consulting with analytics, I worked on this project that involved me to analyze hospitals. And while doing it, I realized that the total number of patients that have visited the hospital for this period of my analysis is close to 10,000. In fact, by a virtue of numbers, it's around 9,000. I don't know why this is taking a lot of time to load, right? By virtue of numbers, it's around 9,000 something. When you speak like this from a place of experience with numbers, recruiters are going to know that this person knows what he or she is talking about. Okay? This is taking a while to load. I'm sorry about that. And then from that same analysis, we were able to notice that the average years of people that visited your ER, that they were 40 years, and their average waiting time was around 35 minutes. Now, your pain point was, how do I reduce the 35 minutes waiting time to 15 minutes? So I was able to identify this, identify that, and we implemented it. And after all this implementation, it reduced the waiting time from 35 minutes to 17 minutes. And because of that, we had enough turnovers, and it reduced the number of people that died in the hospital, and in return, the revenue of the company. So when you're able to speak from a place of experience like this, using numbers, using actual things that happened, you've been able to increase your own employability because you've sold yourself. So the way you've spoken about health sector, that same way, remember, you have all these other projects from different sectors of the economy. And when you speak like this with respect to all these projects, they can clearly see that you know what you are talking about. So this is where that same question I asked earlier with respect to, are you going to give your car to a mechanic, or are you going to give your car to someone that said, I'm a graduate from Harvard University? This shows you how project-based learning has a high chance of helping you with respect to landing your jobs. So then number 4 is gain employability skill. Number 4 is gain employability skill. Most of us in the tech industry, we can code from here to Germany, from here to Jamaica and back. But ask us to, give me your CV. You're not going to see anything that makes sense there. So it's important for you to make sure that you know how to tailor your CV and package yourself, because packaging is part of what you also need to be able to talk about. It is part of what you need to be able to do also. Then number 5, you have networking and then mentorship. Networking is very, very important. It is very, very crucial. We've had instances where one student moved to a company, and after that student moved to that company, a second student moved to that same company because of relationship and networking. So it's important for you to be able to network. In fact, someone reached out, then they needed an advanced Excel person last week. And what I did was simple. I went to our analytics alumni community and asked, who is in London and is available to take up this role? My DM was filled with portfolios and CV, and I sent it to the hiring team. And what they did was to schedule an assessment with all of them. And I'm sure before next week, before this month is over, someone is going to come back and say, oh, I've gotten the job. Something also happened day before yesterday. Someone from Nigeria reached out and said, oh, I want to hire for a financial analyst role that has Power BI experience. Okay, and it's someone in Nigeria, Lagos specifically, to work for this company. Please send me, and should be able to take up this role. And someone from there also sent CV, and I've shared it with the company, and they're also able to hire. Now, this is where networking comes in and mentorship. Because when you have all these things, you can also easily now be able to get to this last part, which is you have gotten the job. You have gotten the job. Some of us, we struggle to get to this. You have gotten the job because we didn't have networking. We didn't mentor early. We didn't have mentors. Anything that come up in the tech ecosystem as our then, we'll jump and learn. Oh, MongoDB is the next thing. We'll jump and learn. Looker is the next thing. We'll jump and learn. We didn't have a defined learning path for us to be able to get all these things. Okay, so it's important for you to be able to know all this. Moses is asking whether I am working and which company I am working for. Hello, Moses. I am the CEO of Tenalytics. All right, so I am the CEO of Tenalytics. So I'm working for Tenalytics full time. I hope that makes sense to you now, Moses. All right, so let's move on. Let's move ahead. So all these things we've been saying, most time people feel it is not possible, right? And that's why we always attach success stories of people that have been able to make this move before you. So we have Adewale, move to cybersecurity. We'll have the other people that have been able to make this move before you. So I always advise people to go through the slide, click to watch what these people had to say. Okay, hear from them specifically. Go to LinkedIn, search for them, look out for them, and also have interaction with them. In fact, search the analytics and then look under the people under analytics and be able to reach out to people. So I also get to hear how their own experience was with us. We have Ikmat. In fact, I love Ikmat's story, and I'm going to play it before we are through with this session. Ikmat moved from being a full-time stay-at-home mom to getting 2 visa-sponsored jobs in UK, that she now had to make selection of the one that she wants. We had Ramat. Ramat moved from being a customer success person to getting a role in business analysis after completing our own program. Ikmat and Ramat, they both work in the NHS. And I always tell NHS is the highest employer of labor that we have. We have close to 70 people that are currently working for NHS. We have Toyin. Toyin also moved from pharmacy role into landing a role in data analysis, and so many other people, okay, that have been able to make this switch before you. Will you be sending the slides to us? Yes. So we are going to send this slide to you and also the recorded version of this discussion, okay? But we don't know you and we don't know how to reach you, and that's why we have the attendance form. So once you fill the attendance form, that is what we are going to be using to send out the slide and the recorded version of this discussion. So if you want the slide and recorded version, please make sure that you fill the attendance form. So all these are success stories. We have Abigail. Abigail's story is one that I also wants us to take out time and watch it. She moved from being a care worker, okay, in Canada, and joined our business analysis program, okay, and currently she's a business analyst manager in Alberta, Canada, with the government of Alberta in Canada. So these are all people that have been able to make this switch, right? And these are human like us, like you, like everyone on this call. So if they can't do it, then it means that you also should be able to do it. To have Abisola, we have Oluwafikayo that also made all these switches to data science and also to, yeah, they both took the data science program, and one is working as a machine learning engineer, one is working as a business solutions analyst. So these are all possible, but first, you need to be able to learn the skills, okay? You need to be able to learn the skills. How about remote roles? We have people on this slide also that is working remotely. We have someone that, I think I'll still get to that place, all right? That should be Abdrashid. He used to live in Ekiti. He got a role with Child 420 in US. And presently he's working from Nigeria, and this company is situated in US. We'll have someone else, I'm trying to remember, I think it's Tuko, and he's residing in Abuja as well, and he's working for a company in US also. So all these things are possible. What if someone has multiple choice of careers? Can you provide advice? Okay, one single advice: streamline. Okay, if you are starting your career early, streamline. There is no two about it. Get skilled and experienced in one, and then can pivot. It's important for you to streamline. It is very, very crucial, because one mistake I've seen most people make at the beginning of their careers is, different branches early. They don't. If you ask them, okay, give me your CV. Inside that same CV, you are seeing data analytics, you are seeing data engineering, you are seeing cybersecurity, you are seeing HR. I mean, that kind of person, if you bring the CV, first question I'll ask the person is, this person is not going to stay with us, right? Because if you're employing him as a data analyst, you're going to be asking yourself, what if he moves another place as data engineer? So it's important for you to streamline if you have several skills, okay? Now, I want to be able to explain all the skills that will land you jobs in 2025. So all those courses we've been talking about, what do they actually do? What does it mean to be a business analyst? What's the skills that a business analyst needs for me to be able to land a role? I hope we are still with me to this very moment, because this is the point where you need a pen and a paper for you to be able to write down things that I'm going to say. I hope you are still with me to this very moment, okay? I hope you are still with me. So, who is a business analyst? Right? Who is a business analyst? It's simple. Business analysts they serve as a bridge between the business stakeholders and the technical teams. And these are people that come into the company to improve and optimize all the existing processes. All right? They are people that are heavy on communication and interacting with people. So if you are someone that you don't have issues interacting with different people in your company and improving the processes that exist, then you should be looking at business analysis, right? You should be looking at business analysis. One key thing that you will be learning is Excel, Power BI, and SQL, right? As a business analyst, you need to be able to also interpret data and make sense of data. You are not a data analyst, but you need to be able to understand data, right? For you to be able to improve business processes, you need to understand data. And that's why it's important that you learn Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Then afterwards, you also learn process mapping. Okay, you learn process mapping. How do you identify and map out the customer journey for you to know where to make improvements? And that is where Lucidchart and Draw.io comes in. You need to know how to use this tool to be able to map out the customer's journey. Then you learn project initiation planning and agile for projects. And that's where Jira comes in. Okay, you need to also know how do you manage and track projects. You are not the project manager, but you need to also have understanding of how all these things are done. Then you're going to learn software development life cycle, requirements fundamentals, elicitation method. How do you get out information from one party for you to be able to communicate effectively to the other party? And of course, stakeholder analysis and the engagement. Okay, then lastly, you also learn ChatGPT for business analysis. Okay, then the class for business analysis holds every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. Can a business analyst also simultaneously function as a project manager? Fantastic question there, Marvelous. Fantastic question. Now, I think I'll take questions in the end, but let me just explain this. A business analyst borrowed this Excel, Power BI, and SQL from data analysts, and then borrowed this project initiation planning, and Agile and Scrum from project managers. And then these ones are now the BA programs. Okay, these are now the BA programs. So a smart business analyst can comfortably work as a data analyst and can comfortably also work as a project manager. In fact, you have Lois. Lois, she took our business analysis program, but currently she's working as a project manager in UK. Okay, we also had people that have taken our business analysis program and are currently also working as data analysts. So if you are very smart and can also be able to, defend some of those career paths, you should be able to move into data analysis and also be able to move into I hope that answers your question, Marvelous. So moving ahead, the class holds on Saturdays alone, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. morning class, and then the evening class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., all in West African time. So just do the conversion in your own time zone to know the class that fits you, okay? Mornings, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. what? Evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. what? All our programs are only on weekends, right? And then you are going to also learn for 8 months. Okay, so we have two different options. We have the 8 months part and we have the 12 months part. So for the 8 months part, you are learning for 6 months in the classroom and then do internship for 2 months. So the internship, you're now working on more projects. Why for the 12 months option, you are learning for 6 months and then doing your internship for extra 6 months. Okay, and that internship is where you also get to widen your experience and learn several other things. Okay, so this is fully it for business analysis. So let's move on to agile project managers. So agile project managers are people that serve as servant leaders within a project management team. Okay, their responsibility is simple: to make sure that everyone is working on that project using agile method. For instance, one key project I always remember that is not agile is Nairaland. If you remember Nairaland, the way Nairaland has been since 2001 or around 2008 or thereabouts, that's the same way Nairaland is till now, which means no increments are happening there. It's a closed project. But WhatsApp is one project I can also tell you that it's done using agile methodology. At the beginning of WhatsApp, there was nothing like WhatsApp stories. There was nothing like WhatsApp status rather, and all those places that you can now join a forum and all those kind of things. But constantly, you will see them bringing new things, which means the WhatsApp has made their minimum viable product and they've pushed it to market. But constantly, they're now adding increments to things that they feel the customers are going to love. Okay? These are things that also help you respect knowing the project that works. So as an agile project manager, your responsibility is to make sure that everybody within the project team that are working using agile methodology. In fact, we refer to this side as the no-code area in tech. So if you're looking in Ireland, sorry if you work with Ireland here, I'm just trying to explain the processes. I'm sorry. All right, so if you are looking to break into tech and you want to be in the aspect of no code area in tech, you're not doing anything technical, then you should be looking at agile product management. Okay, you should be looking at agile product management. And since you're going to be learning is one, introduction to agile, introduction to project management, where you understand both the waterfall aspect of project management and the agile methodologies, and of course the structure. Then you go on to learn the skills and communication aspects, and of course foundations of agile and Scrum before you even get to the Scrum frameworks and Scrum artifacts. How do you do your incremental planning, your sprint planning, your product backlog? It's actually simple. For instance, product backlog, if you want to cook jollof rice today, what are the different things that you need for you to be able to cook jollof rice? You need your rice, you need your things. If I want to build a platform, what are the different things that I need for me to also be able to build that platform? That's now your product backlog that you now pick and put on your table. And then you're now picking them and pushing to sprint one after the other. You are going to be taught how to do all these things. And of course, you will need either Confluence, Jira, or Trello with respect to your project tracking. We're also going to teach you how to be able to use all these things. You're also going to be learning advanced Scrum and of course, end-to-end use of Jira and Confluence, like I've mentioned, and Kanban boards. So Kanban boards is for workflow management because sometimes waterfall may not work. Sometimes agile may not work. It's something as simple as Kanban workflow management that you will need for that workflow deployment. You're also going to be learning agile metrics and reporting, and of course, leadership and real-world application, and Nexus Scale Scrum, which is how do you manage multiple projects iteratively. Then everything that you're going to be learning will prepare you for professional Scrum Master examination, to prepare you for professional Scrum Master examination. So we do not teach Vabro, we teach Confluence, Jira, and Trello. Okay, Tableau and Power BI are for visualize. Okay, people are asking questions in the comment section. Someone is answering. Okay, fantastic. Now, the learning timeline is also the same thing. All right, so the class holds on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. WADs, morning class, evening class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. WADs. Okay, and the learning options is also the same thing, 8 months plan and 12 months plan. Both are 6 months classroom learning. The difference is the internship time. So the person for 8 months is doing internship for 2 months, while the person for 12 months is doing internship for 6 months. So let's talk about data engineers, right? So when we talk about data engineers, these are people that serve as, when it comes to construction company, the plumbers that build pipeline, connecting different pipeline, making sure that water flows and is channeled appropriately within the building. That's how data engineers also exist. Their responsibility is to make sure that data flows seamlessly within the company. For instance, under plumbing, if you open your tap, you want water to flow from the tap, you want shower to rush, you want the sink to rush, but all these things are channeled to the tank that is somewhere. All right, that's how the data engineer is building different pipelines to make sure that data flows seamless. That any points that someone calls it at the front point, it comes up. Okay, so they built that pipeline to make sure that data flows easily within the ecosystem. Right, for you to be able to do this, you need to understand data engineering, and that's where you learn your intro to data engineering, your lifecycle management of data architecture, and then SQL, structured query language. So you're going to be learning how to put data in the database. Okay, how do you put data in the database that can also be able to help you land database administrator roles? And of course, Python programming is very, very crucial, and Linux operating system. So at this point, you are not learning just Windows OS or Mac OS. We are now adding Linux operating system to the wealth of knowledge that you also need to have. And of course, it's important for you to have understanding of how to build ETL pipeline, extraction, transformation, and loading. How do you extract data, transform it in your IDE, that's your integrated development environment, that should be maybe a Jupyter Notebook or Google Colab. How do you transform it there and then load it to a database? For instance, in the days where we script Twitter, you can easily script Twitter, transform it in your IDE environment, and then from it, you have an analysis of everything that happened on Twitter. Okay, so it's important that as a data engineer, you should know how to scrape websites and then be able to transform and load it to a database. Then how do you automate all these processes? That's where Apache Airflow comes in. Okay, Apache Spark and Apache Airflow. You're also going to be learning cloud engineering. Okay, you'll be learning GCP and Azure. Then you learn version control, GitHub, and of course, ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. So these are all the tools that you are going to be learning. And the learning timeline is the same thing. Okay, the classes is Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. What? And then the evening classes, p.m. to 9 p.m. What? And of course, the learning timeline is also 8 months and 12 months. 6 months classroom learning for both, and then the difference is now in the internship. I hope we have understanding of who data engineers are. Then we'll have the data analysts. I hope we are still with me. I hope we are still here. I will still in this meeting today, because I can't see anything in the comment section anymore. Are we still following to this? Okay, thank you, Dan. Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Kizito. Thank you, Omolora. And thank you, Yemi. So data analysts are people that come into the company to make sense of the data. All right, so they are coming there to make sure that every decision we are making is made using data. I was reading something and they said that if you are speaking without data, you're just another person with an opinion. But when you speak with data, you speak with a backend. Okay, and data analysts are people that make sense of this data. They answer two basic questions under data analytics, and that is descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. Descriptive from the aspect of what happened, and diagnostic from the aspect of why it happened. For instance, let's say that analytics last year, for 2024 financial accounting, that we posted a revenue of $1 million, right? And this $1 million, the data analysts have told us, oh, we made $1 million revenue. And then 500,000 came from the US market, 200,000 came from the Canadian market, 200,000 came from UK, and then 100,000 came from the rest of Africa. This is him telling us merely what happened with respect to revenue. We expect him to also look at the other aspects of data that we have, maybe the marketing data. And from there, he was able to see that, oh, we use 50% of our marketing budget in the US market, and we use 20% in UK and Canada respectively, and then 10% that was revenue was for the rest of the world. So you can easily see a correlation between revenue and market spend. So he's been able to tell us this is what happened. And if you look at the marketing spend, is also looking like what we spend in marketing is relating to what we gain with respect to revenue, which means if we are looking to improve revenue from other marketing, other markets aside US and Canada, which also improve our marketing budget for those locations. So he's going to make some of these data by answering what happened and why it happened. Then things that you need to learn for you to be able to do all these things is number one, problem solving. Okay? You have to learn problem solving and also Excel. We are going to learn Excel from beginner level to expert level, starting from your rows, your column, your your formulas and your functions, moving to pivot tables and of course pivot charts. And lastly, how do you build your dashboard? Then SQL also, you're going to be learning how to be able to interact with database that the data engineer has built. How do you bring out data from there and analyze it? That's where SQL comes. And of course, Power BI and Tableau with respect to how do you build visualization to show the data that you're interpreting in a visual appealing manner. And also, how do you tell your story for it to connect? For instance, if we jump on this call, and first thing I'm telling you is for you to be a data analyst, you need to learn Excel, problem solving, this one, that one, that one. It's not going to join, but I've taken us from a journey from the beginning stage that we started to this very moment. That everything that we've talked is now joining together. So data storytelling is very, very important if you want to be a data analyst. How do you tell a story that stakeholders are going to also understand? And then, of course, you learn ChatGPT for analytics and then Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. The class is also the same time. Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. watts, and then 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. watts for the evening class. And then learning option is also the same thing, 8 months and 12 months respectively. 6 months both in the classroom and 2 months for the 8 months program internship, and then 6 months internship learning for the 12-month program. Then data scientists. Remember I mentioned earlier that the data analyst answers two basic questions, and that's descriptive analytics, and diagnostic analytics, right? Now, the data scientist goes a step further to answer this one called predictive analytics, okay? So the combination of these three is where you now have your data scientist, okay? So he answers three basic questions. What happened? Why did it happen? And what is going to happen in future? So we refer to them as the future tellers. So they answer what happened, why did it happen, and what is going to happen in the future. So clearly from this explanation, you can easily see that a data scientist can work as a data analyst, but a data analyst cannot work as a data scientist. So what you be learning as a data analyst starts with statistics. So you learn all those, your mean, median, mode, measure of central tendency, variance, covariance. You're going to learn it, all right? And then you now move to forecasting and predictive analytics. So everything you'll be learning, they're all from the basic level to the advanced level. Okay, so you don't have to fear, oh, are we going to leave you in the class? Even if you have experience before coming, everyone will be taught from the basic to the advanced level. Okay, so after that forecasting, you now move to Tableau for data analytics and then also SQL. Then the difference is now from Python down. You now be learning Python programming. Okay, you'll be learning Python programming and also exploratory data analysis, and of course, machine learning and computer vision. So if you're looking to move towards data science, you should make up your mind that you are getting into the coding aspect of data. Okay, you are moving into the coding aspect of data. So it's important for you to know all these things. Okay, so these are all tools that you are also going to be learning. And the learning timeline is also the same thing. All right, your live classes every Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and then 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the evening class. And the learning timeline is also the same thing, 8 months and 12 months. It's now for you to choose the one that you want to move into. And then we also have the financial analyst. Now, for all companies that I have worked with, I've not worked with any NGO before, they are always in the business to make money, right? And someone needs to be able to tell us, oh, if we continue on this path that we're going right now, by July, we're going to be at loss. So we need to make a couple of changes for us to also make sure that we are aligned to our positive financials. And that is where financial analysts come in. They look at the financial data and tell you things that will happen in your financial aspects, right? So they will also be learning all those tools that a data analyst will learn: problem solving, Excel, Power BI, SQL. Okay, they will not learn Tableau. So while the data analyst is moving ahead to move into Tableau, they are now moving into accounting fundamentals, understanding that three statements of financial model: your income statement, your balance sheet, and of course, your cash flow, right? They will have understanding of it and then move into doing financial analysis. Then they'll now move into financial modeling and, of course, valuation and sensitivity analysis. Okay, so I'm seeing your questions, but I'm going to take it once I'm done with all this explanation, because most of the things that we have is also part of the things that I'm going to talk about. So I'll explain all of them once we are done, that have streamlined to financial data. I hope that makes sense to what we are saying. All right, so the learning timeline is also the same thing, right? You learn in the classroom on Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and then the evening class, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then the timeline is also the same thing, 8 months and 12 months, respectively, depending on the one that you want to go for. Then lastly, okay, not lastly, I think we still have cybersecurity. We have the HR analysts as well. So these are people that also come into the company to make sense of the human data, okay? To make sense of the human data, for them to be able to analyze the people that's existing in the company. For your company to grow, it's important that you have a people analyst. Okay, it's important that you have a people analyst that's going to tell you, oh, if we continue on this path, we're going to lose all this stuff. So it's important for us to know what works with respect to them and be able to do stay interviews instead of carrying out exit interviews. So you're going to also be learning the same thing that a data analyst will be learning: problem solving, Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Then why the data analyst is now moving into Tableau, you're now moving into HR analytics and performance evaluation. How do you build your sheets for your appraisal system? How do you carry out your HR metrics to know when to do stay interviews instead of live exit interviews? How do you also build a dashboard for you to have presentations that would show what is happening in the business for the stakeholders? You also learn how to build your case and create action. So HR analysts are data analysts that have specialized and streamlined to people analytics. It's also the same timeline, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. classes, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening. And the timeline is the same thing, 8 months and 12 months, respectively. Then lastly, we have the cybersecurity experts. So these are people that come into the business to protect the digital assets of the company. The same way all companies are churning out data, someone needs to be able to protect those data that they are creating. And that's where the cybersecurity guys come in. So first thing you need to understand is the introduction to cybersecurity. Before you now move on to foundations of computing and networking. So I always tell people that as a cybersecurity expert, whether you're in GRC or whether you're in pen test, you need to be able to understand the basics of cybersecurity. And that's why our program is designed in a way that you get to understand all these things. The foundations of computer and networking, where you learn IP, LAN, WAN, subnetting, and all those things. Of course, you are learning them using tools that is attached to them. They now move on to have understanding of information security principles, your CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data. How do they all relate with respect to what is happening in the cybersecurity space? You learn your offensive and defensive So I think I was thrown out for a moment there. Please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear now. Okay, fantastic. Sorry about that. Let me bring up my second screen. I don't know what happened. Now we can hear you. Fantastic. Please, I'm going to start off for cybersecurity again, because I think that's where I was kicked out of the meeting. But it's strange. My two devices cannot live at the same time. Strange, because they are both on different. Okay, but okay. Fantastic. People can hear me. Now, for the cybersecurity expert, while I wait for my screen to come up, like I said, these are people that come into the company to make sense and protect the digital assets of those companies. All right. So they have one basic thing that they need to make sure of. There is no external influence on the company's data. They need to make sure that data is protected. And I was walking us through the various tools that you are going to use with respect to making sure that these protections are done. So you're not learning any of these career paths using theory model, okay? So you're learning all of them using experience. You're learning all of them using project-based model from basic level to advanced level. So even if you have zero experience in any of those career paths, you will easily be able to learn them, right? Even if you have zero experience in any of them, you can easily be able to transition into any of them because you are learning them using project-based model. Okay, so I'm trying to bring up my screen. It's taking a while to come up, all right? I'm trying to bring up my second screen. So for all those classes I've mentioned, for all the programs that we offer, you are going to be learning them using project-based model. And they are all from basic level to expert level. So even if you have zero understanding of them, you can easily be able to break into it and be able to understand them. Latif, please make my second device a co-host so that I can be able to share, right? You can easily be able to break into any of them. Hello, Latif. I'm waiting for you so I can share my screen immediately. All right. So next thing I want to show us is now a couple of people that have also been able to do all these things. Latif, are you there? Hello, Latif, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. All right, fantastic. So let me bring up my second screen so that people can also see what I'm talking about. All right. So at this point, I hope we've been able to understand the career path that also serves us ideally. I hope we've been able to select a career path that we will be able to move into after all this my explanation. Now, all these things I've been talking about, two things are involved. You have the opportunity to include analytics and Amdari on your CV. So those experience that are trying to, how do you show experience that, you've been able to do this, you've been able to do that. You have the opportunity to have both analytics and Amdari on your CV as places that you've been able to work in. And they can comfortably be able to speak, I worked in this place. I used to work as a consultant with analytics and I worked on this. Sorry, guys. I don't know what is throwing me off this call at this moment. Something keeps throwing me off, and I'm trying to rectify it and be able to solve it once and for all. Okay? I'm trying to rectify it and be able to solve it once and for all. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Can we see my screen? Okay, fantastic. Oh, you can see my screen, but I can't see my own screen. That's just something is off. Something is off, really. Okay, so let me move on. Let me move on. Like I mentioned, you have the unique opportunity to have both analytics and Amdari on your CV as places that you've been able to work with. So when we say you are going to be learning using project-based model, you are learning with Okay, they can't see my screen. Okay. When we say you're going to be learning using project-based model, you are learning with analytics, you are consulting with analytics, and then your internship experience is now going to be with Dari. So you have the unique opportunity to have both of them in your CV, that you've been able to work in two of these companies. All right. So my second screen is still coming up. I think that's what's drawing a lot of bandwidth from here. It's still coming up, and it should be up in the next few minutes. All right, it's coming up. Should be up in the next few minutes. Okay, I think it's should be up now. Yep. All right, sorry about that, guys. It should be up right now. And I'm going to try. Shafi, I'm not able to share my screen. Please check if I am a co-host. I'm not able to share my screen here. Okay, it's coming up right now. Sorry, guys. It's not coming up. Something is off. Okay, just give me 1 minute, guys. Please, 1 minute. Let me rectify this once and for all and know why this is happening. Just 1 minute, please. Let me rectify this. Can you hear me, Elijah?
I can hear you, Latif. I see you.
All right, just
you.
1 minute. Yeah, let me bring up my screen again. My second device is throwing me off a lot. All right, so 1 minute. I know we have a lot of questions. I'm going to take it once I bring up my slide, and then we're going to close for today. So in the next 10 minutes, we should be rounding up for tonight in the next 10 minutes. Okay, we should be rounding up in the next 10 minutes. Okay, so my screen is coming up. My screen is coming up. Okay. I was talking about the various ways that you should be able to utilize the program with respect to showing experience, right? So if you are training with analytics, you'll have the analytics consulting role on your profile. Edwin, I'm going to bring up my screen now so that I can be able to see it. And then afterwards, you have your internship experience with another company, Amdari, which gives you the unique opportunity of having these two companies in your CV as places that you've worked on before now. Okay, it gives you that unique opportunity to have both of them in your CV.
Hi everyone, apologies for the break. Yes, is okay. I think it's back.
All right. Hi, everyone. I think I have to use just this one for now. Please confirm that you can hear me from here right now. And I'm going to drive and try and finish up this session immediately. Okay, fantastic. I think they can hear me now from this place. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. And quickly, let me bring up my screen so that everyone should be able to see what I'm talking about. All right, we can hear you. We can hear you. Fantastic. Thank you so much for understanding with me. Sometimes technology can also fail us, and then that's why I have this happen. Just a few minutes, and I'm going to bring up my screen right now, and we're going to continue the discussion instantly. Okay, I'm trying to bring up my screen for us to continue with the discussion immediately. Loud and clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so my screen will come up in the next few minutes, and we're going to now drive and finish up instantly. Okay, it's coming up, it's coming up. All right. All right. So like I mentioned, please confirm that you can still see my screen. Like I said earlier, you have the opportunity to have Analytics and Dari as part of people that you have in your CV. And this doesn't end here, right? So part of things that you're also going to be experiencing from us is the employability skills. So we are not just going to give you the tech skills for you to have, the technical skill. For you to land a job, you need both the technical skills and the employability skills. And part of the employability skills that we're also going to be walking you through is CV review session and optimization. How do you optimize your CV in a way that you can be able to apply to jobs? Okay, how do you tailor your CV down to the job that you are going for? One challenge that most people have when they're looking to break into the tech industry is not tailoring their job. The same CV you are using to apply to one role is same CV that you want to use to apply to all the roles that you can think of. So it's important for you to know how do you tailor your CV down to the job specifics that you are going for. And then LinkedIn optimization is also relevant for your visibility. So we are going to walk you through all these employability skills for you to know how you can be able to land the role. So technical skills is not the only thing we'll teach you. We're also going to teach you all these ones, and also how you can be able to navigate the job market. How do you navigate the job market and interview prep sessions? You've landed a job, okay, and you don't know how to prepare for those interviews. We are also available to prepare you for the interview till you can comfortably speak on them. So what we do is that we'll look at the job description, and from the job description, we'll use it to prepare you for interview. So at any point to land any job invite, you can also be allowed to book interview prep sessions with us. So these are things that we do to make sure that you move from the classroom into landing a job. And it doesn't end there. All right. We'll also walk you through and give you references and recommendation letter. So you've landed a job, right, and they're asking for reference or recommendation letter, we're also available to provide you with all these. We're also available to provide you with all this till you can comfortably be confirmed on that role. Okay, so okay, so okay, so all right. Then moving on, you also have the unique opportunity for you to have on-the-job support. All right, you are on a job and you are struggling to find your fit. We are also there to help you so you can comfortably be able to work on that role. So these are things that we do to make sure that you can be able to land job. I know people had questions around this before now, so that's why I'm trying to walk us through all these things. Okay, Latif, please make my second device a co-host. I think it's up now. And then also you have mentorship sessions, okay, weekly mentorship sessions where you bring in experts to walk us through on various ways that you can also use to navigate the job market, and Upwork optimization where you learn how to also freelance, okay? You also learn how to freelance, because when you freelance, you can easily be able to make, or you are making $50 here, you're making $20 a year to support what you are currently doing. So all these things are ways that you can easily be able to navigate the job and move from our classroom into landing your first role. Okay, so all these are also success stories of people that have been able to make this move. All right, we may not have the time to go through all of them. All right, we may not have time to go through all of them, but once you get the slide, please feel free to go through it and also be able to now, decide and look at what they also experienced during their own time. All right, feel free to look at all of them so they can also be able to make decisions from what others have also joined. And this is Lois that I mentioned. You can see Lois used to be an accountant, okay, with zero experience in tech, but she joined our business analysis program and she secured a role as a project manager in the UK. So it is always possible. All right, it is always 100% possible once you decide that this is where you want to be in. Hope you can still hear me. Hope we are still here to this very moment. Okay, let me move ahead. So you also have other people. You also have other people that have been able to make this switch. You have Ngozi. All right, Ngozi moved from zero experience. She used to be a customer service person, all right, into landing her own role as well, and also Oluwadamilare. So all these are success stories of people that have made this switch. So please go through it personally on your own and be able to do and understand. Someone asked about remote roles. You can see Abdurrashid. He resides in Nigeria and is working for Child 420 in US. And someone also asked if we have people that have been able to get roles in US. So you can easily see all these people that have been able to move from a role into landing one job or the other in any of these companies. Okay, so easily you should be able to also make all these switches. All right. Oh, my screen again. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Latif? Latif, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but your screen is not up.
All right, I think my screen went off again. Okay, so after this session, please, we are going to send the slide to everyone so they can also understand what we are talking about. Okay, we are going to send the slide to everyone so that we can clearly understand what we are talking about. Now, how do you secure your spot and be able to land into our class? I'm going to walk us through how you can be able to secure your spot and move our programs. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen to walk us through how we can be able to make that switch. Go through the slide and you're going to see everything that I've talked about. All right, you can also see we got into that Better Capitalizer program where we learned how to also help more people to break into the tech industry. And of course, we also issue certificates once you are done training with us. Okay, we are also going to issue certificates once you are done training with us. So what are you going to start doing for yourself this 2025? What do you want to start doing for this 2025? So I'm going to walk us through how we can be able to secure our spots and get into any of our programs. So once you fill the attendance form, you get the slide and the recorded version, okay? Our next cohort is starting February 8th, right? February 8th, that's when our next cohort is starting, and we take new intakes every first month, every first Saturday of the month. And for all the programs that we offer, the 8-month plan is $900, while the 12-month plan is $1,200. But currently, we have a 20% discount for the first 20 people to join any of those programs. And you have the option to pay instrumentally, which means for the 8-month plan, you get to pay $750. And with instrumental payments of $150 for like 5 months, okay? And then for the 12-month plan, you can pay $1,000, which means you get to save $200, and you pay $125 for 8 months till you finish your own payment. And for you to break into any of these classes, what you have to do is simply click on the main Start link that my colleague is also going to drop. Once you click on the main Start link, it's going to bring you to our enrollment center. Right? What you have to do is simple. just look for the course that you want to break into. Okay, scroll down and look for the program that you want to register for. Once you see that program, just click on it and it's going to take you to secure your spot by making one instrumental payment option. All right, so you can see all the programs that we offer and you can easily click on them to secure your spot. The 8-month plan is there, the 12-month plan is there as well. Just click and then it will take you there for you to secure your spot. I don't know why this is taking time to bring me to the page. My internet is really acting up a lot tonight and I'm trying to rectify it, or it's acting up and I'm trying to rectify it. Okay, just 1 minute for it to come up, and once it comes up, I'll show us how we can be able to secure the spot. All right, so once you've clicked on that main stack link, it's going to bring you to our enrollment center. Right then, our enrollment center, you can now easily be able to see all the programs that we offer. All right, you see all the programs that we offer and you select the one that works for you. Okay, just 1 moment, it's coming up. Can one upgrade from 8-month program to 12 months? Yes, you can. So once you are done with your 8-month program and you feel like you want to add more, you can now easily be able to, make the differential payments and be able to continue with the experience. But it's advisable for you to make your intentions known before that 8 months is over. Because once it's over, it means that you are now coming as a fresh person that wants to now learn. So it's important for you to make it known that, you want to upgrade your 8 months into a 12 months learning plan. All right, so 1 minute and my screen is going to come up and then we can have understanding of how to secure our spot. Hi, Elijah, please confirm that the main stack is opening from your own side as well, so that can walk us through how to secure our payments. But in the meantime, please drop in your questions so that I'll be answering it right now before the website comes up. We will be recording for each class in case I'm busy at work and miss out, 100%. So for all the classes that we carry out, they are always recorded and also uploaded to your classroom. Okay, so all the classes are recorded and uploaded to your classroom, that if you missed any class, you can comfortably also go back to recorded version and watch the recording of that class itself. Okay, if you miss any class, you can go back and watch the recorded version of the class. Okay, for the early bird of $750, can you pay on installment of 5 months as well? Yes, Ayobami. So for the early bird for $750, you can pay installment of 5 months. In fact, there is a catch here. If you do a 1 month payment or 2 months installmental plan, you get also save extra $50. All right, if you decide you want to pay one off or to pay in 2 installments, you get to save extra $50 rather. So, but you can also break it down into all this instrumental plan for you to now be able to make your payments instrumentally. All right, so let me be looking for questions. Please feel free to drop your question so that I can be able to answer. Which roles has more remote job opportunities? I'm sure Ebele didn't start with us. All right, so like I told everyone in the beginning, we clearly looked at all these things and then made that you need to be able to move into a career path that tilts to what you've been doing before now. Okay, you need to move to a career path that relates to what you've been doing before now. Okay, if you're a teacher, you need to find a career path that relates to teaching so that you're moving to a career path that you can comfortably also be able to defend. So once you're on this enrollment center, scroll down and then look for the one you want to go for. So let me explain using data analytics. You can see the 8 months, you can see the 12 months. So let me select the 12 months plan. Once I click on it, it's going to bring me the option to select how I want the installments to be. Okay, it's going to give me the option to select how I want the installment to be. So right there, I can choose if I want to make me 3 months payment or in 5 months payment, as the case may be. All right, you can easily select. And also, no matter where you are joining from, it allows you to pick, it picks your geolocation and gives you the pricing in your own currency, right? It picks your location and gives you the pricing in your own currency. So if you're in US, it's going to give you the pricing in USD. If you're in UK, it's going to give you the pricing in pounds. If you're in Germany, it's going to give you the pricing in euros. So it picks your location and gives it to you in that location. So once you've clicked on it, you can see I selected the 12 months plan. You can see if I pay one off or in 2 installments, I get to save extra $50. But I can also scroll down and choose that I want to pay it in 8 months. And once I click on secure my seat, it's showing me that my first payment is due today. Next payment is due by February 18th. The other payment is due by March 18th, then April 18th, and so on and so forth. So you can see how it's structured. And once you click on proceed, it allows you to now put your name, your email address, and pay for the product. So it is as simple as that. All right. Once you put your name and put your email address and phone number, you can now pay with your credit card from anywhere that you are joining from, as easy as that. So this is how you can easily be able to secure your spot. And once you are done, just come back to this main stack link and then scroll up and click on this place that you have upload your receipt here. So once you come back here and click on upload your receipt here, someone from our team will now reach out to you respect to you completing your payment, okay? And that is simply how you get to secure your spot and everything. Once you're done with the payments, come back to the main stack link and click on upload your receipts here. And right there, you can now fill in your details and someone from our team will reach out to you. I don't know if there's still question from another person. Do we still have questions from other people? Please feel free to put it in the comment section and I'm going to answer all the questions that we have tonight. Please feel free to put it and I'm going to answer it. Okay, will that be recording? So all classes are virtual? Yes, all our programs are virtual. So all the programs are virtual. They are all virtual class. Which job roles has more remote opportunity? I've answered that. I'm working as a logistics specialist right now. What can I transition into between business analytics or data analytics? Fantastic question. So what I advise you to do, Maiko, is because this is not enough. We may need to look at your background to understand where you are entirely coming from, your first degree, second degree, and things that also are related to your personality, so that we can be able to make a pure decision with respect to where we suit you. So what I advise you to do is, in the community you are coming from, we are going to send a one-on-one consultation link. It is entirely free. So when you join that room, we have a discussion with you to find out the career path that should be for you. Okay, so when we look at your history, your experience, what you've done, we'll see the career path that should suit you. But before that, I would advise you to also secure your spot so that by the time you're going back, the discounted pricing is not over. So if you secure your spot, and then after the discussion, even if there is a change, we can easily be able to make the change for you and move you to the career path that we've both decided that is suitable for you, okay? But make sure you secure your spot and then book that one-on-one consultation, and then we can have that discussion. Can you help an undergrad that will be graduating this year in the UK who wants to transition into tech with an unrelated degree? Fantastic, Odelia. It is important for you to know that whether you have a degree or you don't have a degree, you can comfortably be able to break into tech. So as an undergraduate, you already have a step. Okay, so comfortably you can join and we can also be able to help you break into the tech industry. So with all this hardship in Nigeria, people still increase the price of your program without rise in foreign rates as I commented last time. Do you want Africans to grow at all? Fantastic, Edet. I'm going to answer that question 100%. Now, with all the price increase and hardship in all the countries, right? Because a lot of people that we also relate with are not also based in Nigeria, all right? So it is not a specific Nigerian thing, all right? The economy of all the places are changing. And if you bought something, for instance, if you try to fly back from US to Nigeria last December, you're going to know that it's not the same thing with the pricing that you flew by July. So everything has increased. And that is also the reality of things. And what we try to do is to be able to communicate to everyone that's been following us before now that January, our price is going to change. And if you've also been following us before now, you realize that before, our programs used to be for 4 months, right? But now our programs are 6 months. Not even 6 months, it's now 8 months and 12 months. So there's already an increased value offering and also an increased time that you get to spend with us. For instance, people that are currently training, that are doing a 3 month training, and you are spending a 6 month training. So value is not the same thing, right? The Excel you learned 2 years ago and the Excel you're learning now, there has been improvements that has been attached to it. So constantly, improvements are also being done to our curriculum. And once all these improvements are attached, price also changes, right? And remember, right now, there's a discounted pricing currently going on. And once that 20 spots are filled, the price will revert back to the full amount. All right. When I transitioned into tech, I used 35,000 naira to transition. That should be like 6, 7 years ago. But because I transitioned then, it doesn't mean that that's how the economy has been since then. So I always advise people, try and take the opportunity anytime you see it. Because if you relent, by next month or next 2 months, it's not going to be the same. Right? If you bought a Toyota Camry in January last year and are trying to buy a Toyota Camry in January this year, you are going to know that it is not the same anywhere. So the economy has changed everywhere across the globe, and it's also affecting all businesses as well. Okay, because we have to pay salaries. The same way our staff will come and say, oh, but these people are getting increased. Why are we not getting increased? All these things has to also be catered for. Is that a data analyst and cybersecurity certification? Now, for all our programs, you get a certificate once you are done training. Okay, you get a certificate once you are done training. But if you're not looking for external certification, it's something that you now have to pursue specifically on your own, because certification differs. For instance, on the cybersecurity, if you want to go for CISA or CISM or go for CEH or go for CNNA, there are different diets that is relating to it. So you need to be able to know the certification you are going for and read the diet that relates to it. Can one pay in NGN? Yes. No matter where you are joining from, the website picks your location and gives you the currency of that location that you are joining from. So this allows you to make payments using the currency of that place. Okay, so if you are joining from Nigeria, you can easily be able to make payments using NGN. If you are joining from Canada, it will give you the pricing also in card. Okay, how much is the cost, please? 3 months plan. We do not have 3 months plan. Our programs are 8 months and 12 months. Okay, 8 months is $750 discounted, while 12 months is $1,000 discounted. As a sort scientist, which of the program will you recommend for me? That's Olorufemi Sunday. So Sunday, like I told the earlier person, you may want to book a one-on-one consultation, and we'll have a conversation to find out the one that relates to you. It is entirely free. All right. So in the community you are coming from, you see all those links drop. You can now book what the one-on-one consultation. Then we'll have a discussion to find the career path that is suitable for you. And this is for everyone that do not know the career path they want to move into. All right. So feel free to book that session, block our calendar from Monday, and we're going to have that discussion to find out the career path that suits you. It's entirely free. You don't have to pay for it. What if you have zero knowledge? I'm here from my brother, but he can operate a laptop. Fantastic, Kevway. So all our programs are from basic level upward. So even if you do not have understanding, we are going to teach you. All right? We are going to teach you for you to understand it all. And then after each class, within the week, we'll have drop-in sessions. The drop-in sessions, that's where people also come in to ask questions, and then those questions will also be answered. Does it mean one cannot change career? I don't understand what you mean by that, Dan. I don't understand what you mean. Which program will you recommend for me as a soil scientist? I've answered that. The link is not opening from my end. Please check again, dossier, because that's the same link I also use. Please, can you talk about data management and data governance? I heard it is in high demand parts. It is in high demand from where? If you joined earlier, we looked at the World Economic Forum report, where we saw all the career paths that are in high demand. Okay, so data governance can also relate to cybersecurity. All right, it is a derivative of cybersecurity, because that's where you talk about your governance, risk, and compliance. How do you build governance around data? So it's a derivative of cybersecurity, which is also in high demand. So if you want to get into that career path, you may want to look at cyber security. The one-on-one will be more better, so we can know what to choose. Yes, fantastic, Emperor. Please use the one-on-one link, and then we'll have a conversation. But what happens most time is that Remember, the discount is just for the first 20 people. All right. So by the time you are done with your one-on-one, there's tendency that 20 spots will be taken. So I advise people sometimes secure your spot. Maybe go under data analytics, secure your spot. Once we are done with the one-on-one, if there is a need for us to change it, we are going to change it for you in the back end. All right. So that you don't wait till after your one-on-one and then the discounted price is over. Okay. Okay, fantastic. I think I've answered all the questions that we have here. Certified and qualified. Do you provide service where UK professional can get a USA remote job? I don't think the criteria on this, please. I'm certified and qualified already, Yemi. Yemi, you are certified and qualified already. Do you provide service where UK professional can get a USA remote role? Certified and qualified under what? All right. So what we do is we teach people the skills and the employability skill as well for you to now be able to land a job. And what we notice almost sometimes that people come to us and say, oh, I have this skill. I'm a CISA certified person. I am a CBAP certified person for people going for business analysis. But when you ask simple questions like, oh, as a CISA guy, can you use Nmap? Can you use Nexus? Can you use Kali Linux? As a CBAP certified person or Scrum Master, can you use Jira? Can you use all those tools? Because these are the experience that recruiters are always looking out for. Okay, you jumped my questions, Pat. I hope I've answered that question now. When will the conversation link be sent? Immediately after this call, the link will be sent to all the communities that you all joined from. And then you can now have, okay, it has also already been sent to your communities, correct? It has already been sent. Okay, if you had more than 100 participants, you are only considering 20 people on discounts. Olorufemi, thank you so much for that. I mean, we are all in the business of knowledge, all right? I will take that into advisement. Are there live classes for training and the timings? So Muiz, all our trainings are live classes. So you have live interactive class where someone is going to be teaching you, okay? You have live interactive class where someone is going to be teaching you, all right? And then also have self-paced module. They're also expected to go through some of those periods. Is age a barrier to making a career change? Not at all, Fred. We've had someone that is 69 that transitioned, and we have someone that is 18 that transitioned, and this should tell you that age is not a career. Okay, Hassan, I already have a PMP. I need the portfolio experience at a discount, please. Fantastic question, Hassan. Now, all our programs, all right, are from basic level to advanced level. Because half of the people that we have in our other project management, they already have certifications, but they don't know how to use those tools. But remember, when we talk about each of those key learning points, we are learning, what's it called? Any of those items, you are working on a project that relates to it. So the portfolio you are building is relating to those key learning areas that you have. Right? So you see there is need for you to walk through the classroom because after each class, that's when you have that project to build on. So we don't have a situation where we say, okay, there is no class, just take this project and be walking through, Hassan. So walk you through the technical skills and give you the projects to work on. And that's what is going to help you build your portfolio. I think I've been able to take everyone's question. But if you have, or if you want to unmute and speak, please feel free. Okay, Dan said no, that I'm not taking his own question. I may have missed that, Dan. Please, if you want to type it again for me to look at so that, okay, I have practiced marketing for years and I'm thinking of data engineering. Would I be fit in? From superficial level, data engineering involves deep coding. All right, so I will need to also know your first degree, second degree experience that you've had before now for us to understand easily. Data engineering, you have to code. You have to code and code and code. So you need to book that one-on-one consultation so that we'll look at your background, look at your personality, to know if you're running from mathematics or if you're open to mathematics. Because these are the things that will help us to know the career paths that will help you. So Dan, we need you to be able to book that course. So we look at your own fit personally. Please increase your voice. I think my voice, I'm literally shouting right here. And NS is saying, I need to build a good CV. These are also part of the things that will walk you through in our employability services. Okay, so I think I've been able to take everyone's question. right now. If you have specific based question, please book the one-on-one consultation, and we are going to answer all those questions that you have. It is entirely free. In case you are thinking, oh, you are going to be charged, the one-on-one consultation is free, where we'll bring in people that have such questions and then answer all of them for them right on that call. Okay, like I've said before, we'll have people that have been able to make this move before you. Okay, will you do the consultation? You'd have myself or people that are more qualified than me in those meetings to answer all your questions. Okay, you have myself or people that are even more qualified than me to be there to answer your question. Okay, like I said, we'll help close to 2,000 people transition from our classroom into any of these programs. And it is simple. It is by getting the skill, getting packaged, and then applying to roles. Okay, it is very simple. Get the skill, package yourself, and apply to the roles. Our students work in all these amazing places, and our most sought out people are NHS. They employ our highest students. I've said it before, and that's because they offer visa sponsorship. So you also can be part of this. And we offer some corporate social responsibilities in the past where we've helped people to move into the tech industry. All right. So the question is now for you. Are you ready to gain premium technology skills? All right. Are you ready to get all these skills? Like someone mentioned earlier, we increase pricing. That is true. We increase value as well. That is true. But one thing I always tell people is that the value you get yesterday is not the same value you get today. The price you get yesterday is not the same price that you get today. So I always advise everyone to try as much as possible to take advantage of the program at any point that they meet it. Because if you waste time, the next ones are going to be entirely different. By March, when we start talking about people that will start by March, the pricing that they will have will most likely be different from the pricing that people starting in February are having. So now is the best time for you to make your decisions and break into tech. Make sure you fill the attendance form so you can also have access to all these success stories here. Go through it and be able to make your own decision. Thank you so much to everyone for being with us for roughly 2 hours, 17 minutes. It's not easy for you to stay one place and listen to someone for 2 hours, 17 minutes. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you join our program by February or by March 2025. Thank you so much once more, and have a wonderful day ahead or a wonderful night rest. Cheers, guys, and bye for now.